Hello and welcome to this maths webinar focusing on number bonds in the early years. Number bonds provide children with the foundational knowledge they will need and a mental arithmetic strategy that they can rely on throughout their mathematics education. But what is a number bond? So, number bonds are a pair of numbers that add up to a specific total and are crucial in developing children's number sense. Number bonds are brilliant for helping your child to understand the composition of numbers, so how numbers are made up, and this helps with their number sense. When learning number bonds, children start by looking at the whole, which could be, for example, 10, and then they explore how they can break it down into smaller parts to discover as many ways as possible that the whole can be partitioned. In reception, as we explore each number during maths, we look at the different ways to make that number. These are the number bonds. This is an example of the part-whole model. The part-whole model is a pictorial representation that shows the relationship between a whole and its parts. While usually constructed with just two parts, a whole number can be partitioned into as many component parts as a person may choose. For example, 5 could be a part of 2, 2 and 1. The greater a student's understanding of the part-whole diagram, the greater their understanding of the number system and their sense of numbers. Here are some examples of number bonds from 2 to 10. We often talk about number bonds of 5 and 10 in the early years, but there are number bonds of 2, 3, 4 and so on. Remember to talk to your children about the fact that all the number bonds are reversible. So if 2 and 4 make 6, so do 4 and 2. As an adult, you probably use number bonds all the time without even realising it. You might know that if something costs £17 and you pay with a £20 note, that you will need £3 change without even counting. This is using your number bonds. Helping your child to develop this good understanding of number and number bonds will have a lifelong benefits. Knowing number bonds for numbers to 10 will help your child to work out and memorise number bonds to 20 and more as they progress through primary school. For example, if they know 8 and 2 make 10, it will be easier to learn 18 and 2 make 20. Why are number bonds so important? Once children have learned their number bonds to 10, they can then apply these to number bonds to 20, number bonds to 100, decimal numbers and beyond, as they allow children to look for and spot relationships between numbers. Children can also use their number bonds to 10 to calculate corresponding subtraction facts, exploring the inverse relationship of addition and subtraction. For example, if children know 3 add 4 is 7 and 4 add 3 is 7, they will be able to know that 7 take away 4 is 3 and 7 take away 3 is 4. At the end of reception, the children are assessed against the early learning goals. There is a maths early learning goal that states children should be able to automatically recall, without reference to rhymes, counting or other aids, number bonds up to 5, including the subtraction facts, and some number bonds to 10, including double facts. So for example, 2 add 2, 3 add 3. How can you help your child at home? You could play games using dominoes. So can you make a total of, for example, 6? So you would need to join a 2 and a 4. You could play pairs, so lay out number cards. Think of a number. Can you find all the ways to make that number? And playing with cards is a great way to work on the children's number bonds. So to recap, number bonds are a pair of numbers that add together to make a larger number. In reception, we start off by looking at number bonds to 5, and we will then look at number bonds to 10. It's really important that we keep this fun for the children and play lots of different games for them to be able to remember their number bonds. These are some of the most basic and most important parts of maths for children to learn. Thank you for watching this maths webinar focusing on number bonds. If you have any more questions, please do let us know.